Today I'm going to show you how to put together a timeline quick and easy within Google Drawings. So when I go to my Google Drive and start from the new menu, I drop this down to Google Drawings, which is under the More options, and it's right here with this red with the shapes inside of it icon. When you choose a Google Drawing, it will open up something like this. And before when you first open it up, it will have like a checkerboard kind of plain background on it. And then you can choose your background colors and add information. And this timeline assignment, this is a comparison of a student timeline with a famous scientist timeline. So to be able to get started on something like this, I made my screen a little wider. So I went to File and Page Setup and chose a wide screen. So it made it a little bit wider than the standard screen. You can go a 16:9 ratio or a widescreen 16:10 to give your timeline a longer feel to it. So that's the first thing I did. And then I started by adding elements like this line, for instance. I'm going to take that away so I can show you. The line tool is here, and you can just do a standard line, or you can do some arrows, which you see I have those as well. So I'm just going to add a line. Anywhere I draw the line, it will show up across here, and it'll even let you kind of balance it out to straighten it out. And my line is in place. Then I have to go back and hit this select tool or the arrow to get back to my regular cursor again. So once I have that done, it's up to you to put in the years. Let's say your famous person you're working with, I'm going to put a text box in. So this is the T for text box at the top. I'm going to draw a text box about here. And let's say my famous scientist was born in the 1800s. Let's say 1835. I can set this box, this text box, up or down, and you kind of see where it fits there. And then I can go ahead and add, like this one, an arrow. So I come to the line tool again, choose arrow, and then drop it down so I can give some details about 1835. So you could say some information about that. You can make it as long as you wish. Again, press the arrow here, select tool, and then I'm ready to add a text box about this famous scientist to tell this is when they were born. So I can draw a box here. I'm going to make this box a little bigger because I'm going to put maybe a sentence in here. You would put their name, so famous scientist, born on, and you give them a date here, February 1st of that year in 1835. You can move your text box around. Anytime you click on it, you'll see like this, and you can actually move that box and that information. You can make it wider. You can to fit all the text you have in there if I want to stretch it out. That way it doesn't go off my page. I'm going to close this out. And so I can have some information here, and I can continue down the timeline. If you're finding that you need more space and you're running out of room and you get here and you're thinking, oh, I only have like I don't have much space left at the end of my timeline, like this one, I can add a couple more events, but then I'm going to start to get full. You can always change the size of this area. Then you can make your line longer and modify it. So far we learned how to put in a line using the line tool, how to put in an arrow so we can kind of point down, and then how to add a text box, which is all these things are text boxes. If you click on them, you'll see them here. And then these are also text boxes with just the year listed in them here. You might see I have larger text here, and that's really word art. Word art gives you that like poster size art work for your words. So I would go up to insert and go to word art. And that's when you type in, like I put that famous scientist timeline and I want to compare that to mine, and I hit enter. It'll pop it on the page. Then you can change the inside fill color. You can change the style of the font, any of those kind of things, and make it look however you want. So if I don't want this one anymore, I can delete it and bring this one down. So then I've got room for it. I can even change the size of it. I can move it around and center it. You can kind of go from there and decide how you want to set that up. That way you have the two spaces here, whether you're doing one timeline or two. The other thing is I talked to you about expanding the size of the page, but I did not talk to you about the background color. So if you hit the Alt key on your computer, your Chromebook keyboard, and then click your mouse, you're going to get an option for background. And this is where you can change your color. So you can change that. Alt, click, and then background color. And you can change it to whatever you'd like it to be. And then that page setup and changing the size, it was widescreen. Maybe I want to go custom. So how big would I want it to be? Let's say I want to go 15 and let's go by 10 and see how much space that gives me. Not much bigger than I already had. You can drag this out and make it longer. That will probably be your best bet to give you more space to stretch out your timeline. Because if you find that you're getting things crowded and need more space, grab that bottom right-hand corner and just bring that out. And that way your area will expand. And of course, you know how to do the undo button to bring it back to where it was in the beginning and go from there. So I hope this was helpful in getting you started on making just a simple timeline, whether it's for you and your life or comparing yours to someone else's. Good luck, and I hope your timelines turn out great.